Hello, welcome to Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and we actually had a pretty nice surprise this morning when we got up. We got the samples in finally. They came in surprisingly fast, actually. We actually missed the email from them. It didn't come through just yesterday, you said? Where they were telling us that they had sent it off the day before, the 19th, and it was already here. So, I seems as though the factory really was listening to us when we requested to be put on priority from the previous mistakes, and this got here super fast. So, awesome. Let's show you guys kind of what we got. We're going to compare a little bit of the sample we got in as well as to our old prototypes. Also, before we start, keep in mind that this prototype was done a little fast and loose than, I should say prototype sample, than how it would normally be done. Normally, we would have fully printed tins and all this stuff, but if you watched our last video, you know we had an issue throughout the process where one of our old reps ended up misinforming their bosses that we had received a sample. So this sample was thrown together a little faster than usual so we could get the process moving faster. Everything that I was wanting to physically hold and check out is here. So, and I'm really approving of it. I hope you guys also approve of it. So let's start looking at some of these things, y'all. We've got the base set here. And something I can show right at the back to you of a difference from our prototype to this one. It's pretty obvious is the crates. Now, this is our original prototype one. There's these 3D printed ones. If you've missed it in the past, our prototype was made for us by the Game Crafter, who just has a lot of surplus pieces, and that's where we got some of these. We ended up going with just these printed on cubes because this would have raised the cost of the game pretty significantly. And personally, we love these. We think these look really good. The magnets, we were concerned about how well the magnets were holding, and we've had them all put on here. They hold really well. Can you see that good? Yeah. Toss a few more on. The magnets all seem to hold really well, even through a card. We'll show that here in a sec. The tokens, we were a little worried about how they might look. We think they turned out pretty okay. The borders are a little thick for us. That will be a pretty quick minor adjustment, but colors are looking good. Meeple colors all look fantastic to us. Got the rule books. These were just kind of hand folded. They'll be more, machine folded for the final process. Unfortunately, one thing we have right at the back is the cards are still just a little bit too big. They don't quite come in and out as smooth as we want. The main thing there, difference between that and our prototype that I'd like to show you guys, is that, again, the Game Crafter sells these cards that are very specifically cut with extra rounded corners. So they fit very smoothly into their tins. The manufacturer we are using does not have this die cut available to have these super rounded corners, so they end up having a much more sharper corner edge, which is very common for cards, but unfortunately it does not help out our situation here. But it's very close. A very tiny adjustment should make those fit. We will go ahead and check with them on, just to check on price of what it would cost to maybe see if we can get that die cut made for them. But, yeah. We've got, let me turn them your way so you can actually see them, guys. We've got all ours. We personally think that they seem pretty readable. We think they're looking, colors came out pretty good. There's always the concern that it's not going to look quite like what you see on your computer screen. And we think that it's pretty good, pretty close to what we were looking for.
A note about the card size. Aaron is able to get those out of the tin very well. I can't. So it's really important that everyone is able to get them out of the tin fairly well. See, because they kind of squish in there. So that's what we're trying to get changed.
All right. We just want you guys to have a smooth experience while playing, but also while, handling your die. You're already getting a little bit of damage on the cards because of the squeezing. We don't want that, of course. But yeah, so that's most of the damage. You see the card hedges are the big difference. The crates are the big difference. But otherwise, we think it looks really fantastic. We received these rounded magnets to attach the parts of the stadium, which we understood that we were going to be getting some rectangular magnets, so we're going to double check with them if that was a mistake or not. But hey, get on there. But they do hold well. They just are a little big sticking up, which makes it match our prototype, but we didn't want necessarily to match our prototype on that part. That was just us having a lack of access to different size magnets. So we're double checking on that if that's what they're going to give us or not. We did notice that the teleportation circles were way too light. We've already got that note to make those darker. Let's shove this off to the side and let's show the Fire and Ice expansion, or standalone expansion. The only thing really different to see here is the new Meeple colors. Black, white, purple, orange. We're happy with those colors. Otherwise, crates, teleportation circles are all the same. The only new thing here is we've got a couple of different tokens you can use for getting extra attack and defense, depending on the character. Again, I think I mentioned the last one. If I didn't, each set game is supposed to have different colored dice. We are double checking with them that that's not an issue. We assume we got all white just because, again, they were trying to throw it together quickly for us. I'm not super concerned about the color on those. I think a picture will do fine as far as confirming those look all right for us. But let's get these cards out and show these off. Aha. So, get those out of the way. There we go. Bard, Blood Mage, Cleric, the Elementalist, Savage, the Baron, and then the Boss Elementalist. There's some of our Fire and Ice terrain. And there we go. Some of you may have noticed that there aren't these sliders you clip onto the cards in these. We did. That is in our notes to point out to them that we didn't get sliders, so they need to make sure those are going to be in the final products. And let's go on to something that you guys really haven't got to see much of it all, which is the third expansion, the Adventures expansion. So this I'm really excited to show you guys, because even when we were able to show you little bits of it, like us playing it, we were able to show you some of the finalized pieces with like pictures on them, because we hadn't even made those for the prototype. So let's check this stuff out. We are personally very happy with the way these look. This is your Dark Knight. This is your Dark Wizard. Dig some more of these out of here. We've got your various potions you can find while searching for treasure around the battlefield. Here we go. There's a skeleton and a zombie. We've got our slimes here. We've got, come here you, our little goblins and our bigger orcs. And then, of course, what is any good adventure or dungeon dive without fighting and killing a boss? So we have our three big bosses: the dragon, the Lich King, and the ogre. We were a little worried that something like the really small cubes might not translate well, like it might be a little hard to see, but we personally think that it's recognizable. We think they look really good. We think the iconography came out pretty great. We're happy with them. Dump those out. Ooh, those magnets be grabbing onto everything. Get out of the way, get out of the way. I got some cards to show here. Alright. Dump out the few here. There we go. Y'all quite, I know y'all seen the logo. That's the one that we did have ready for it. Here we go. Showing off the cards. Oh, that was backwards. There we go. Spawn list, the slime. Little more terrain for this one. Just fire and just ice, which weren't included in the other one because they were very focused on having all the new terrains. There's your bosses. Alright, not a lot on the cards. This one's mostly packed full of all these colorful cubes. And one last thing for you guys to show you was the one we definitely haven't seen before, because we just made it up because of your ideas at the end, the Treasures expansion. Slide all this off. Oh, there we are. Alrighty. Now, this isn't going to be in a tin like the rest of it. This is just coming in a plastic package with like a paper topper. Going to be sealing it up. This is going to include everything you see here, plus a couple items we didn't get in. But again, we're checking with them on that, so we can still get some pictures of it. We're going to confirm it all fine. We've got our little double-sided... We've got our coin here, which can be used to replace some of those even-odd rolls, or used as a first-player marker when playing the Adventures mode. Yes, we noticed the white's a little hard. We're going to change that color so it's a little easier to read. But otherwise, we like the color. It's very shiny. Looks very nice. We're happy with it. Got our rule book here. Here we go. You don't need a lot of new cards for this one because of what it is, but here's like a target as well as a shuffleboard style target for one of the bonus games. This is a way to keep track of your score when playing those games. There is an obstacle course style minigame, which you will need this for when playing through that. And then we are giving you just an extra double of all of the terrain cards you get in all the other expansions. That way, you can officially make every possible combination of terrain. Normally, you wouldn't be able to pair up this side with this side because there's only one card. But with both, you could still do that. And the big thing here being these little guys, the terrain tiles. These ended up, again to us, we think they were very readable. We think the colors turned it out good on them. These are going, I think, look really great. Where's a blank one? I saw a blank. So, I think these are going to look really great with you guys being able to design your own battlefields. They are the perfect size. They fit right into a square. We're pretty happy with them. The things that weren't here are the sleeve. So we have to check that, and there should be an extra set of dice, I think, in this one. But otherwise, it's all here. I said the main stuff we were worried about the readability of the cards, readability of some of the logos on the pieces, and those all look great to us. We think they're very readable, very noticeable, clearly definable by a pretty decent glance. So we are personally pretty happy with all this. If you guys have any concerns about that, feel free to let us know. The couple things that are missing are things that we don't necessarily feel we need to hold in our hand before approving. Pictures will work fine for us. But, yeah, I know it's been a long process, guys. I know we've been through a lot here. There's been a lot of delays. But this is a pretty good sign. That should be, that should be hopefully behind us at this point. Once we tell them that this is fine and we give them our couple of notes on things we want to adjust, I would imagine that usually in the past when we've made adjustments, it takes them about a week to do those.
Yeah.
So that's been the experience so far of usually when we make an adjustment, about a week later, they'll come back with us of like, okay, here, we've made that adjustment. So I don't want to sound like I'm, trying to, be too optimistic and all that. But we think that once we give them our notes on this, that they should be ready to finally start production here in a week or two. So that's what we're hoping, guys. Sorry for the wait so far. Really excited these are in. Again, we think they look great. Let us know what you think. And see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks.